YouTube questions, guys. Do we schedule filming days and... Oh, hang on. Whoa. Do we schedule filming days and days not to film? Not really.
Like, example today, the only reason we're doing this right here, right now, is because Jack's asleep.
Yeah.
Like, we almost have to plan these kind of days when he's sleeping.
This is why it's so delayed.
Yeah, it's...
We're parents still.
We're literally, still everyday parents. We've still got to find time to have a quiet sit down like this and be able to concentrate on a video, so it's not exactly planned.
But
somewhat planned, but not.
Yeah, something like this is planned, but generally speaking, anything we go to explore, we take the camera with us. It's an extension of our arm, and it just comes.
It's always
unless it's
on hand.
Absolutely crap, and there's really nothing to show you. Then maybe you won't see that footage. But most of the time, what we do, we will show you. So if we're going out with the intention of doing something touristy, we take the cameras, we film it, and we show you.
But normally on hand, we've always got the camera in the car. If we're traveling, if we're driving somewhere, we've always got some sort of camera on us. So if there's something good, it's going to get filmed.
What's going on behind the scenes? How many hours does YouTube take per week? So I reckon, back to the filming side of things, I reckon 3, maybe 4 days a week we'll be filming something. Unless something fun pops up, maybe we decide to do a roast. It's like, oh, let's record this, you know. So it doesn't consume our life. The YouTube side of things and editing and getting things ready, replying to comments, socials as well, that's what takes time. So editing used to take me a couple of days for an episode to begin with. Like, it was a lot of work. Now I can smash one out in a day. Done, finished. So probably 6 to 8 hours depending on the length of the episode, and it's done. And that's because we're better with our footage as well now. So we make better footage, which makes it easier for me to edit.
Yeah, well, it's like, for me personally going forward, it was in the start, it was sort of learning what we need to film, how to film it, what's interesting, what's not. But now,
what angle?
I get to film stuff, but then I get to watch it and see what it looks like on the on the computer and put together as a movie sort of style. And it helps me go, oh, I could have done this better like this, and oh, that could have been better if I did like that. So I'm improving by watching what I'm filming as much as filming it. So it's quite handy.
The other thing that takes a lot of time too is replying to all of your comments. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, emails. That's pretty much all of them. So I do YouTube and emails, and he does Facebook and Instagram usually. And we'll help each other if one takes over and becomes really crazy. But I reckon every night without fail, we're on the computers and phones and spend probably at least a good hour a day doing that, just to get back to all of you. And it's at the point now where if we grow much more,
it's going to get hard.
Yeah, we're going to have to probably stop doing it as much, especially for things that we hear a lot, you know, repeated questions. We'll have to direct you to Q&A videos because it's unrealistic. Like, we've still got to be parents, you know, we've still got to enjoy ourselves, you know. And enjoy each other. Like, sometimes we're not talking because we're too busy talking to you guys. So like, there's a transition.
Yeah, we don't want it to take away from why we even started this in the first place. Like, we started this to have a holiday.
If it affects our relationship or it affects, you know, our ability to do things, then we've just got to change how we do it. We'll still get back to you, but it'll be with these videos.
I reckon this will become like a monthly sort of style video. And
I'll still read all the comments though. I'll still read them
absolutely,
all. Especially a random obscure one. I'm like, oh my god, I have to answer that. That's awesome. You know, of course
we're going to. We love the really fun, quirky ones. So if you got any of those,
it makes it interesting. There's a fun, quirky question in here actually. Okay. Just so you know when it comes up. All right. So, how do we meet internet demands and get enough data for YouTube, school, and socials? So I'm assuming you mean like what Wi-Fi we have and reception and that. So I use an app which Paul from Legendary Adventures told me about, which shows you what towers are around. So you can actually look in advance if you're going to have 3G, 4G, or no G in a sense. So I'll double check that, and if I know I've got service, then usually I don't worry too much. Like 3G is enough to do what we need to do on a day-to-day. If I need to upload a video, 4G is much better, but I will plan ahead. If I know we're going to be off-grid, I'll upload it 3 or 4 days early at least, or sometimes a week early if I know we're not going to have access. But we use the Telstra Nighthawk wireless modem. At the moment, I'm on the $5 a month plan, and the reason being for that.
This is a caravan hack.
Yeah, this is a hack. So Telstra slows your data once you've reached your maximum gigabytes. So it's $5 for 5 gig, but even though it's slowed, we still stream YouTube. We still do stuff on our phones. I still do stuff on the computer.
Like so much runs off it, and we've never had an issue where it's like, holy hell, we should probably upgrade this, but we've never had an issue.
So $5 a month for a wireless modem, and it runs everything. The only thing I do,
keep it on your list. It's a good one, I'll tell you what.
But the only thing I do that's separate to that is with uploading. If we've run out of our 5 gig and it's at the end of the month or something, I will actually use my hotspot to upload to YouTube, because the upload speeds on there are very slow when it slows. But download, you can stream whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's good for the kids, it's good for Jada with online games and whatever, anything. It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, music. YouTube music, we listen to it as well.
We do so much through YouTube when you think about it.
Yeah. So next question. What channels do we like to watch on YouTube?
Ooh, it's a good question.
So
we don't.
Before you get into it,
yeah.
There is a little list on our channel on YouTube, and it actually says channels we like to watch on YouTube. So you can look at that.
Yeah.
But favorites?
Favorites, I'd have to be right up there as YBS.
Yeah.
Sailing Le Vagabond.
Yeah.
So they're like a family that goes around on caravan around the world. They're Aussie as well. Really cool. Well, used to be full drive action, but now 4x4, 24/7.
Yeah.
Sean and Graham down there.
What else? No Moss Nomads.
No Moss Nomads. We love your content, guys. We keep in touch quite often.
If you haven't heard of them, check them out, eh?
Yeah, definitely. They got some really cool stuff. They do very similar stuff to us.
Yeah.
But they're a bit more groovy and a bit more...
Groovy.
A bit more laid back.
Yeah.
How
do you explain that? They're really cool. Just check them out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, who else is there?
I don't even know. Like, we watch... There's a good probably 20-odd channels that we watch.
Yeah, it's a variety.
They're our favourites. And they post regularly as well, so we're on top of it all the time.
Yeah. Explore 4x4.
Oh, yeah. Watch him
another
too.
One. Yeah.
Jacob and Benny. They're the boys from Airbag Man, and they do like a vlog channel.
They do their vlogging
check
stuff.
out our channel.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in here to that playlist.
Click up on there. There's quite a few. There's a fair bit of variety in there. We're not just all caravanning stuff. It's
we even watch a wood turning channel.
Yeah, you'd be quite interested by that. It's
Really
fascinating.
cool. It's time lapses, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Right. What else? Sponsorship. Do we look for it, or are we approached by companies? So,
sort of like a 50-50 in a way, I guess.
Yeah, in a way. Like,
it's only sort of recently we've started maybe putting feelers out to certain people and just seeing what happens. So
Anaconda, the big one.
Yeah.
We didn't look for that at all.
Not at all.
When he first messaged Chris, he's like, you wouldn't believe the message that I just got. And I got straight on Google. I Googled who he was because he said he was the CEO, and I was like, who are you? I don't believe you.
CEO of Anaconda. I was like, what? No way.
No. As if he'd messaged you from his personal account. Like,
yeah, it was kind of crazy. I had no idea.
It turned out it really was.
So they found us.
Yeah.
That wasn't...
That was really
chased
cool.
Anything. Yeah, that was like caught us by surprise.
But like little brands as well, some have found us and say, hey, do you want to just try our brand? And we're always really willing to try new things to an extent, like if they suit our lifestyle in a sense. And then some brands now, we're starting to reach out a little bit as well and going, hey, we use your stuff, we love your stuff, do you want to partner up a bit? And that doesn't mean that we're going to get paid, it doesn't mean that we're really going to get much, but it does mean that, we support each other from a marketing perspective. So Chris will tag them through social media and they tag you and whatnot, like...
Just touching on this too, like, I like to tell people on the socials that ask me this all the time, like, we like to associate ourselves with companies that we either use every single day or it's going to help us benefit with something with the car or the caravan or something with the kids. Like, we don't...
If it has no use.
Yeah, we're not going to associate with a brand or a company that has no benefit to us at all.
Or if we've tried it and it works out to be really
it's not great, or we didn't like it, we're not gonna go forward with that.
We're not gonna support that.
We're not gonna try and push something or sell something or tell you guys you need something if it's not beneficial or it's not worthy. I I don't want to stress it anymore. Like we're genuine people. We know what we
Hang
like.
on.
We know what works.
I'm going to skip a couple of questions. Will we keep it real?
100%.
That's literally what we're saying.
I think you guys know full well how sort of just straight up we are, just straight into stuff. We are who we are, and we're not going to change.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no why. I don't understand why people do change.
They get big heads.
Yeah.
But there's no point to have a big head. It doesn't make the world any better. It doesn't help anyone. No. It's just...
You're changing who you are. So
we like what we've got. We're not going to change it, but we'll just keep showing it to you, regardless of what changes around us. If we make an income, that's awesome. If we don't, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Always 100% genuine.
All right. This is the one for you.
Oh, here we go.
Do we have a game plan to acquire Great Northern Brewing Co. as a sponsor?
This has been... There's one guy, I forget your name now, I'm sorry, but on Facebook, he always comments, or he makes a sentence that ends with Great Northern Brewing Co. and he tags them every time, and I love that.
We need more people to do that,
we need
and
more
then it
people
might
jumping
happen.
on that. But,
can you imagine Great Northern as a sponsor?
Tell you what, like, talk about dream come true.
It'd be cool.
That's like...
And we're not drinking at the moment because it's actually 9:30 in the morning.
It's very early. I was devastated because I was like, I wish Jack slept of an afternoon because I would have loved to have cracked into a few Great Northerns right now and have 3 or 4 sitting there waiting to show you. But yeah, like that would be a dream come true, literally. But I think there's a couple of things we could probably do on our end to try and help that along. I
did have a look into it, and they're through Carlton United Breweries. This was only a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I wonder what's involved.
Yeah, just curious.
And they have a form I could fill in, which is a sponsorship form, but it looks like it's more for events.
It's more commercialised.
It's like if you're doing a festival, how many kegs do you need? How many people are there? Are they over 18, So it's not really relevant to us. So I've got to research it a bit more, but
yeah,
the thought's there. We'll see.
If you guys want me and us to be able to achieve something like that, get involved. Start
tagging them.
I don't know.
I want them to be overwhelmed.
If you're sitting down there by the beach, or you're at a campsite, you're next to the fire, get a good old selfie with you in a Great Northern, or just even a Great Northern with the backdrop, and just tag us and Great Northern.
Yeah.
Let's get the word out there, because I would love.
Can you imagine as a team effort? It would be like a GoFundMe or crowdfund thing. You know what I mean? Where everyone made that happen with him. Can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
It'd be cool.
Absolutely amazing. But anyway, we'll work on that one.
What's next? Can we do stickers?
Absolutely.
We have stickers.
We have tons of stickers.
Yeah.
We were selling them there for a bit. We changed a few things, didn't we?
Because we've changed the website layout. So for anyone who buys from us on the website, our merchandise is actually what's called drop shipping. So we don't keep any stock on hand.
No.
And when you place your order, it's printed and sent to you from a t-shirt printing place, which is in Australia, Australian made, Australian owned,
Brisbane
and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And you get recycled packaging, all that sort of cool stuff. So that's how we deal with that side of things. But unfortunately, the stickers we have, so we can't put them through that website because they won't hold stock for us. So if you want stickers, let us know through our website. Yeah. Get in touch on that contact us form, and we can get them out to you. And
socials, YouTube, website.
If you join,
heaps of things you can get in contact, and if you want one, just let us know. Like,
if you become a YouTube member as well, part of that membership you get stickers. Yeah. So that's another option if you're considering that. You can do it that way as well.
Exactly.
But we do have them.
Yeah, we got heaps of them.
How do we promote our channel and name to people?
Well, for me personally, the socials is a massive one for that. As most of you might know,
this is him, not me.
On Facebook, Facebook's probably one of the best platforms socially to reach out to people predominantly, companies quite well as well. But for me personally, if we've been to a place like we are here now, I've taken quite a handful of photos of different things, important things of the place, and I'll turn that into a post. And then the post will have what I do of the night or an afternoon. I'll go through and put my version of our experience of the place onto that post. So it's got all the details of the place. It's got all the photos you need to see of that place. But then what I'll do is on Facebook, I won't only share it on our page. Facebook. I won't only just share it on our page, but I'll share it on a lot of other groups that we've got. So you got Caravan and Camping Australia. There's the Big Oz Lap. There's so many thousands of them out there, and I think I'm a part of maybe 8 to 10 of them. And I'll repost that post that I've made through all those groups. So that
gives you more reach.
Yeah, there's hundreds, sometimes up to thousands of other people that are like-minded, in the same boat, looking for that sort of information. So it's a good way to reach out to other people and like-minded people. Facebook's great for that.
Instagram, you just do tagging and hashtags and that, but
Instagram's not great for reaching out. It's more for promoting.
And by the way, we don't pay for any advertising either.
I'm totally against all that sort of stuff.
Everyone you see that follows us is what you call an organic following, so they chose to follow us. We don't pay for it.
And that to me means more than spending 50, 100 or 1,000
Some people have
a month on advertising.
Like a massive following, and I'm sure it's paid.
Oh, for sure.
There are some,
probably not.
Yeah, but
I reckon there are a few out there.
There are some which I think are organic and they're genuinely just really big, but there are some as well, and you're like, how did that even happen?
A lot of people take advantage of it.
Yeah. So this one's actually supposed to be in a different area. What hat and sunnies do you wear, Chris?
Good question. I get smashed with this a lot. I was just talking to a guy yesterday, and he asked me the same question about my sunnies, and then he went out and bought them the next day. It must have been 2 days ago. He went out the next day and bought the exact same sunnies, and I was like, "You're a bloody legend. Good on you." But these are carve sunnies, and the model is a Laropa. It's a Laropa. So yeah, carve sunnies. I've always liked this style. They're like, if anyone sort of knows the Spy, they're the Spy style sunnies. They're very similar. I used to wear them a lot back in the day, but I just like that they're not super hugging. You got a lot of ventilation to the front. They're polarized, which is like I could not go sunnies without polarized.
They're not stupid expensive either.
And that I was just about to say, the most awesome part about these sunnies, normally about that $50, $60 mark, cheapest chips. You get them from most City Beach. I get most of mine from City Beach. Always up on the little spinning rack. You'll always find them there. They've got tons of different styles, but this one I like particularly because just personally. Laropa. So if you're looking for these and you love them, City Beach, carve, Laropa. And the hat is another massive one. So this is an Akubra. It is the Cooper PD Khaki. So the way to tell, it's got a little opal on the side there, obviously from Cooper PD being a mining town and whatnot. But it's a size 61 for me, not that you want to know because I've got a massive head. I have such dramas finding hats to fit my head, but that's basically all it is. Cobra.
Just if anyone's wondering what these things are, because I wonder what were you thinking? What are they?
Yes, I did make holes in my hat, but this is a little thing that I've sort of been.
He's always wanted to do this. Apparently.
Jess Harris, if you're listening, you inspired me for this one, but it's probably more of a cowboy. For most cowboys out west and rural areas, but they're basically cow tags. They normally have in the ears.
But they're
but the fun thing is, I've noticed a couple of places. So the Daily Waters pub and the Lazy Lizard, where we just were recently, they sell these sort of things in the merchandise areas in their shops.
It's like a tourist thing.
Yeah, but it's a really cool way of just sort of collecting. It's like stickers, but it's a cool way of putting it on your hat, and it's a conversation starter. I reckon it's.
When he first said he wanted to do it, I'm like. What?
And I've basically just sort of zip tied them. I've done a bit of a custom job with the zip tying on there, and so eventually I'll have half a dozen or so on the back, maybe even fill the whole thing. I might even fill the whole thing eventually and just keep it as sort of like a
memento.
Yeah, like a memento of our trip that we've done after 2 or 3 years.
Stations.
But how cool is that to be? Like covered in all these things and just leave that hanging up on your house at home after a real. I think that's a real cool touch. Yeah. But that's what they are.
All right. So we're moving into another section.
Ooh.
So this is all patrol questions now. So these are ones that we didn't cover in our final build series, but we've been being asked it. A couple of them we actually did in the build series, but I want to put them in here as well because...
Which is out now. If you haven't seen it, if you've missed it, jump over to the final build series.
Number 8. Our weights, budgets,
It's got all the juicy bits that everybody wants to know.
So, has it been hard to get unleaded petrol for the patrol?
No.
No.
Straight away? No.
Not at all. The car is supposed to run on 95 and...
Well, they recommend 98 for
was it 98?
Optimum performance, which, of course, any car is going to go great when you give it the best feel possible.
Someone out there is probably going to hammer us for this.
You don't need to. I don't think you need to, based on the experience and what we've done with this car. We've had this car now...
And the people we've asked as well, like mechanics, and we've thrown this question around a few times now.
So many different people.
Even my old car before we left home, I used to have an I30N, which is like a little race car.
Yeah, a little sports car.
And that used to be recommended 95. I put 91 in it. It's fine.
If anything, you might lose 1 horse. Sorry about that, guys. Our SD card just filled up.
Yeah. It's here now. Can't lose this one. It's valuable.
Yeah. So yeah, back to unleaded. So for everything we've done with the car, towing, not towing, off-road, on-road, everything we've done with it, probably 80% of the time we've put 91 in it. And
it's fine.
Never had an issue at all. Still pulls like no tomorrow. Still got plenty of power.
The engine doesn't miss.
No, there's no obvious issues at all. From my personal experience, I can say 91 is fine for a patrol. If
you're the patrol owner who is determined to keep it on 98, you may not get all the way around Australia.
You won't make it around Australia.
No.
Guaranteed. Some of the places out here do not have that sort of option. You're lucky to have the fuel there in the first place. So, yeah, just keep that in mind.
The same applies for diesel. You're lucky to have diesel in some places.
Yeah.
You know, like they're so remote, and you think, how does this fuel even get here, sort of thing. So 91, 95, 98, no matter what it is,
you're fine.
They all work.
Yeah.
Okay, what was next? The fuel economy on the patrol.
We did touch on this on the build series.
Yeah. Just do a really quick figures, and we'll continue on. If you want to hear more detail about it, you can still watch the build.
Yeah, okay. Real compressed version.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 25 to 27 litres per 100.
When we're towing.
When we're towing with a fully loaded caravan, on-road or off-road, that's our range.
Yeah. And when we're not towing?
Look, well, like I said in the build series, it depends on the driver and how heavy you are on that right foot, being a V8. For me personally, I've got around that sort of 14. I think 13 was absolute best, but around 14, 15 litres per 100 without anything on the back.
You like to drive the car though.
Yeah.
Which is probably our letdown. You probably could get it lower.
Oh, absolutely. There's always better ways to get it down. But again, it's a V8.
It's a V8. You know?
The full stop is a V8.
Yeah.
And it has an exhaust on it now, so for me it's a little harder.
If you don't want to spend more on fuel, don't buy a V8.
No.
Whether it's a V8 diesel or a V8 petrol, don't buy a V8 if you don't want to spend money on fuel. End of story.
So yeah, there's more detail about that in the build series.
Yep.
If you haven't seen it, jump over and check it out.
How does fuel consumption compare to the Ranger? So what was our Ranger numbers?
So basically what we used to get towing with the Ranger, we get not towing with this. so that 14, 15 litres per 100 is what we got towing with the Ranger, and that's what we get with this not towing the Ranger. So we basically kind of doubled it, almost doubled it with this. But the funny thing is, when we had Paul and Annie, our friends, when we went to the Cape and across the centre,
in the D-Max.
The D-Max, they had Isuzu D-Max. They were sitting on that 15 litre per 100, and we went the same distance, we did the same sort of roads, we did everything together, and we would still fill up at the same time.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show, yes, it's bigger.
Tank costs more to fill up than what theirs did.
It's a 140 litre tank versus a sort of 70 litre.
So it's literally half. So you're still doing the same kilometres, doing the same thing, you're just putting more juice in. So you're spending a little bit more filling it up. At the end of the day, it really doesn't chew or blow that much more than what the Ranger did. The thing is that I find kind of interesting around fuel consumption too, if you break it down to the litres per 100, right? Let's just say you're doing 15 litres per 100 in the old car or 25 litres per 100 in the new car. I'm going to work out this maths and I'm going to put it down right here.
Yeah.
This is the difference between cents. So I'll put over here is how many cents per litre it is to travel in a smaller car, and how many cents per litre it is to travel in a bigger car.
I remember doing this not that long ago.
the same
It wasn't that
petrol
much.
price, which I'll put here in the middle.
Yeah.
So it'll be small car, big car, petrol.
Yeah.
And in the great scheme of things, it wasn't that much. Like,
when you compare the two together, it was like, wow.
It's really not that bad, you know? No. It's a V8.
It's a matter of looking. Sometimes it's a matter of looking at it in a different way that makes a bit more sense, or goes, oh, hell, I didn't even know that. So,
All right.
We'll do that.
If we had a smaller van, would we have kept the Ranger?
Possibly, yes.
I think we would have.
Because the only reason...
I don't think we would have changed it.
Well,
only when it came to upgrade time.
Well, the only reason we changed the Ranger, as most you would know, was because of the GCM.
Weight. If we had a smaller van, we wouldn't have had issues with the GCM, and we would have kept the build... The car that we built from scratch to Touring, 100%.
Like, literally, if this was 300-400 kilos lighter, Range would still be here today.
It would have been fine.
But that was the difference, literally. So, all good.
Okay. What else have we got? Why the Patrol over a 200? Is it diesel over petrol?
No.
It's not diesel over petrol.
The fuel wasn't an issue for us. If anything, it was...
partly budget.
Budget was one. Second of all, for me personally, was
like
value for money.
Yeah, what you get.
Everybody knows a 200, they are very expensive before you even do anything to it. It's already like 15, 20 grand or something more straight off the bat.
Sit in a cruiser and then go sit in a Patrol.
Yeah, literally.
Look at the features you get for the money.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
All you have to do is sit in each car, and I think it's almost a no-brainer.
They both tow. They both have awesome GCMs. You know,
for what they do as a car, they're very similar. Don't get me wrong, but then if you're spending a year, 2, 3 in a car,
and you
full time with kids, you want to make sure that you are comfortable, everybody's happy, and you can sit in that car for hours on end. You don't want to be sitting there.
The Patrol has more luxuries.
100%.
Is the way to put it.
Yeah, big time.
The Cruiser is more made for towing and off-road.
I'd say it's simple. It's more simple. It's not.
And hey, we still love the Cruisers. Don't take this personally.
Yeah, I don't. I know where the conversation will go with this sort of thing. It's like Holland versus Ford.
One opinion versus another.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Everyone's right to have their own opinion, and if you love Cruisers, that's cool.
We don't offend against Cruiser owners, 200s. It's not like that. We just personally like the Y62, and it suits our needs.
If we ever see you on the road and you've got a Cruiser, can we have a quick street drag race, or go forward driving together and just check out how they go?
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Let's do a comparison video. Yeah. Anybody that's out there and we cross paths.
We're keen.
Yeah.
All right. If we could have any 4-drive in the whole world, what would it be? This is you. I don't really care. I like the Patrol. I'm happy with the Patrol, but I know you had some dream cars at one point. I don't know if it still is. What's that updated version? It's like the Ford Ranger, but the American style of it, or whatever it was.
Oh, the 150 Raptor.
Would you do that if you could over the Patrol?
It's a nice car, but I think for the towing capability, it wasn't up there at all.
What if it didn't have to tow?
Oh, I wouldn't say no. I don't mind the old big American sort of style cars, but I'm all about practicality. Like, if it's going to cost me thousands of dollars to run it because I choose juice like no tomorrow and
you can't
everything
get off
else,
road
I don't know. The Patrol's a pretty good pick when you bring them all together, all the towing cars together. If you had no money issues or anything like that, it to me personally, it's a pretty good all-round car.
You'll notice we're very practical with choices we make.
Yeah.
I tend to agree.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about that because that's like a very wide open question. Like, there's so many. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I don't know. Something huge in American if money wasn't an issue. Just because I love massive cars. Yeah.
I don't really care. I'm happy with the Patrol.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we got. A good question.
All good. All right, what's next? How did we fix the rear tyre issue on the Patrol?
We got it wheel lined properly.
So, the Patrol didn't actually have an issue.
No, it wasn't the car at all.
It was the wheel alignment.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
They said as well, was it related to the independent suspension?
No.
No. So, it's literally just a combination of the springs So yes, the independent suspension and the springs and the wheel alignment all put together, and they tried to overcompensate for the fact that we tow by giving us whichever way it was more camber. And then that overcompensation was too much, and it didn't benefit us, and our tyres wore through.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was literally just a really bad wheel alignment.
Just bad workmanship.
Yeah, it was, at the end of the day, bad workmanship, and it wasn't done properly. We since went to a Nissan dealership because we knew they would do it properly. Ever since, that was Mount Isa, which was a while ago now.
Haven't had an issue since. Now.
Yep.
And it's fine.
Tyres are wearing nicely, everything's sweet. So literally just a wheel alignment issue. Just on the wheel alignment for these cars, yes, it is independent suspension. It just means they need to be given more attention. So it's not just your normal everyday car, but just clarify before you do drive out that everything is Mickey Mouse mint and that it is all legit, because now knowing what we do now after our issue, I tell this to everybody with the same question. So yeah, just take a little bit more care in that area.
Why did we do an exhaust before a snorkel, seeming we were going to do lots of water crossings?
Well, when it came to parts for the petrol, we're lucky to even have what we have when we have it.
COVID is so crap.
COVID's been very annoying and frustrating while building a car.
We definitely would have had a snorkel done within weeks of having it.
Oh.
But we couldn't fit in with the workshop.
No.
They couldn't fabricate it in time.
Nope.
Then we couldn't find someone in another area to install it, so we just sent it ahead of ourselves and said, right, we'll send it to Northern Territory and do it with the front bar, because we had to wait for the front bar as well. It was like a matter of months before it was here, because we bought one. Yeah, we bought one that was on a container and wasn't even in Australia yet.
This is why the build series went from a couple of episodes to boom, 8 episodes.
And why we did the Cape without a totally decked out car, because we could not get the stuff.
We couldn't get it quick enough.
Yeah.
Well, the big reason why that happened was because we got to Cairns, we met a couple of families that were wanting to go to the Cape, and so we said, well, bugger it, we don't get any close to the Cape. We've always wanted to do the Cape, but we only just got the car, and it was like a scramble to get as much as possible done to it. Before we left. But obviously the bar and the snorkel and all these other things were still months away before any of that was even available. So it was literally COVID and what we could do. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. Why Airbag Man over Polyair?
To be honest, I haven't really looked much into poly and all that sort of style, I guess. The reason why we went Airbag Man is basically they got really good marketing, so we found them quite quickly. We started watching a lot of their gear. We found lots about them. Yeah, we started researching and just sussing them out, but they got good videos to sort of show you how it all works, how durable it is. They really sell it quite well, so for us, and being quite detailed in how we sort of buy things and research things, it was almost a no-brainer just to go with them. So we've just stuck with Airbag Man set up the bag, so the Firestone. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how we ended up with what we got.